The Howard F. Rudd Jr. Business Person of the Year Award recognizes a graduate for important achievements as a business leader in his or her industry or profession and who has exhibited great integrity in his or her business and personal life. The recipient has also made significant contributions to the college and to the community. The School of Business selects the award recipient. Let's meet our recipient.
My name is Keith Sauls, 1990 graduate of the college. Manage a couple of family partnerships, including AppleGold Partners and Exeter Venture Group, and we focus on private tech investing, real estate, and some public equities. I got into the banking and finance business really as a byproduct of my experience here at the college. I took a number of finance classes from Perry Woodside and culminated in a Maymester in 1989 that was investment banking, where we spent 2 weeks here at the college and 1 week in New York. During that class I did a project on the S&L crisis of the late 80s rather. It set up well for understanding a little bit about what was going on in 2008 when we went through the last crisis. First time I was involved was probably the campaign of 1997, and I got involved really through the Student Affairs Division, which did not have a part of the campaign at that point, but we had some very interesting people involved in that group, including Olga Duke, who had a son at the college at the time, and she just decided that the Student Affairs group needed a goal, and I think we raised $750,000 out of that $37 million for that group, and then today that is a leadership program here at the college that is still ongoing some 20 years later. What I've noticed that the School of Business does a good job, and the college overall does a good job of, is taking students that come from a background that may not be business and then preparing them very well to be able to operate sort of in any company. The most rewarding thing I get back from the college is I have an entire file of personally handwritten notes that have been written by students over the years, thanking the family for being involved with the scholarship at the business school, and that is very rewarding. Most times you don't meet them, you don't even know who they are, you don't know what happened to them, but it's very, that is a rewarding thing to look back at over a 20-year period and see handwritten notes from numerous students.
Allow me to introduce the former Dean of the School of Business for whom this award is named, Dr. Howard Rudd, and the current Dean of the School of Business, Dr. Alan Shaw, as they join the President McConnell and I in presenting this award to Mr. Keith Sauls.
Well, it's been a great week in Charleston this week. We have had quite a week. We got to honor Steve and Emily Swanson as Philanthropists of the Year at a lunch on Thursday. Some of us were at the dedication of the Fisher House yesterday for our veterans on Wentworth Street, and then 2 successful board meetings at the Alumni and the Foundation meeting, and then culminating in tonight. Very busy but great week. I would just like to say it's, as the video said, and by the way, I did not watch that beforehand, so as it said, you know, it's my favorite thing is to read the letters from students that the Sauls family has supported. And Steve Swanson, who I have not seen tonight, but I know he's here, often says his scholarship is anonymous. He's unknown to his donor. Unlike myself, I know who gave the first Sauls scholarship, which would be my parents, Dennis and Judy Sauls over there, who provided me an education that was paid for at the end of 4 years, and I would like to thank them. So I also want to thank the business school, Howard, Alan, Perry Woodside, who was referenced, who's over there with his wife Linda, Mark Powell's back there, who's doing the same thing for the current students that I was a beneficiary of. And I just want to thank them for providing me the tools that helped me in my career. I would like to say that you often hear that you learn more from failure than you do success, and I will have to tell you that that has been the case for me in the last 2 years. I ended up making an investment using those tools about 2 years ago in a very large real estate project, and every time we dropped a pile line into the ground in Jacksonville, Florida, we hit a problem. And so about a year's worth of 6 a.m. calls, problem solving every morning, trying to salvage this project. Found myself, I think October of 14, probably at the lowest point in that project, thinking it was just going to be a complete and total loss. And I ended up going to Fifth Ave Pres, which is on Fifth Avenue in New York. It's on the, I'll say, right side of Fifth Avenue. That's a Trump joke. It's a beautiful church you've never been in. It's probably truly one of the most valuable pieces of real estate. And I looked at what happened to be Pledge Sunday, so I looked over and picked up a pledge card, which I have with me right here. And I'll be glad to show anybody who wants to see it. And I put it in my bag, and I carried it with me. And a couple weeks later, I was on a flight to Dallas, I think, and I picked it up and looked at it, and it had some writing in the margin, and some in, I thought, Spanish, but it turns out Portuguese. But the person who filled out this pledge card gave a tithe to that church of $48 a week on a $25,000 a year salary, if you look at the notes. I realized very quickly my problems were very small, and that was very, very motivational. And so I'll leave you with this, a call to action. Right about the same time, somebody introduced me to this book. It's a very long read, about 50 pages. The title pretty much tells you everything you need to know. It says one word that will change your life. And what I would encourage you to do coming up on Thanksgiving, pick a word for 2017, live it out. I did that 2 years ago. It worked for me, and I encourage you to do so. Thank you.